Welcome or welcome back to Likewise Pod. We are so stoked for another week.
Last week was so much fun. Introducing the month of April, introducing our theme of sweet nothings, and kind of diving into that. I was gonna say a little bit, but we kind of dove in a lot. And honestly, we talked about a lot of the stuff that we were planning to talk about the rest of the month. So now we're like, oh shoot, what do we talk about now? But yeah, we are so excited to be talking more about like when a little becomes a lot and just like the different ideas of that and how like I don't know, just like how we can see that happening in different areas of our lives.
Yes. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Like we've talked about little things before in other episodes, but it's been in a very different way than this. Like I think last time we kind of just talked about like our favorite little things, and so we're gonna do that a little different today.
But of course, before we really get into it, we're gonna be talking about our roses and thorns for the week. So Sam, what are your rose and thorn?
My thorn is that I have to leave tomorrow, like for my trip back home and go back to Nebraska. I just feel like it just flew by. It was really fast, and I'm just not ready to go back to work and all that stuff. My rose is that it's obviously been a good trip, and I've been enjoying my time at home. And I had a very productive last day today. Just running a lot of errands. Like my mom and I, we went and got our manicures we said we were gonna get done on this trip. I went and picked up the my new tabs for my car. I we went to Ulta. We had like ate lunch. We went to her vintage shop. We just did so many like little things all day today, and then we like picked up some grocery stuff we needed for dinner, and then planning stuff for my sister to come over with her friend so that I can see this friend before I go. Like there's a lot. Oh, and but we're gonna play Hues and Cues tonight, which is like, really fun game. Um, and yeah, so I'm just excited to kind of wrap things up, even though I don't feel ready to go back yet. Also funny, I was just talking about this. Every single time I come home, my cat, Panini, will not like sit with me, cuddle with me, like let me pet him, he'll like come by, he'll rub on me or like do whatever. He always waits until the very last day of my trip. He will curl up on me and like sleep on me or like in between my legs, like under a blanket if I'm like on the couch. Like he'll come cuddle up with me, but only on my last day. Every single time. So, but he just
Oh,
did, and it was really cute for like 30 minutes.
that's so sad. Oh, I'm so sad for you.
It's okay. He's a weird one.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Love him, but interesting character, that guy. My thorn is that like I'm so over being sick. Um, it's been like 2 weeks of this, and I'm annoyed at this point. Like I don't even care about like being sick anymore. Well, okay, like I do, but I'm just annoyed by it. And yeah, so that has like put off so much stuff that I've needed to do the past couple weeks because I've just been like out of commission, kind of like I was out of commission last week for real. That was rough. But yeah, anyways. And then today, I don't know, I've just kind of been in a funk. Like I've just felt like so off today, and the day is not over, and I still have stuff to do tonight, and I just want to go to sleep. So live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
But my rose is that like really getting back into the swing of things with the soccer season and with work. So yay for that. So happy about that and seeing my work friends again on more regular.
Mm, yeah. No, that's so real. I'm excited. That is the one like fun thing about going back. So I'm like, oh yeah, I do really miss my work friends. Like it's so funny. You don't realize until like you're not working with them like every day or like every week and how often you see them. And then like once you're back in the swing of things, you're like, oh wow, I
Yeah.
missed you. I missed this.
Yeah. No, it's crazy because like seeing each other a couple times a week for like 8, 9, 10 months or whatever, and then going like 3 months of the off season and not seeing each other. It's like, whoa, where did where did my friends go? What am I doing now?
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Well, friends and coworkers and family members and any relationship you can think of, they're all going to play a part in this episode and kind of relate to everything we talk about. So take it take it how it best applies. Think about different relationships in your life, and maybe there will be some good takeaways for you today. Um, and we have a lot of different directions that we're going to go when we think about what are those little things or what comes to our minds when we think of like, oh, a little becomes a lot. Like, what does that mean? Like, is it really just like we're talking about the small things here and there, how they add up, whether that's actions or effort you're putting into relationships. A little bit of what we talked about last week. We talked about showing up for the people in your life and knowing their love languages. We can even get into like Enneagram and how that helps us understand how the people in our life think and move and act and how we can, interact with them and kind of be in relationships with them and be supportive everywhere we can. Um, so yeah, lots of different things to think about when you think about little things. Also, some of our favorite songs are called Little Things. So there's just little things makes our brains go a million different directions for sure.
Yes. Shout out One Direction and Kelsey Ballerini. I love you guys.
Yes, great songs.
Little Things, regular capitalization by One Direction. Little Things, all caps by
All
Kelsey
caps.
Ballerini. I love, oh my gosh, that album of hers, that one's so good. I think all of her
Mhm.
songs on that album are all caps. Muscle memory.
Mm.
Anyways,
I love
yeah, so good. So good. Yeah, I actually didn't have anything planned, sorry to say.
You're good. So funny. Yeah, little things. Honestly, the first thing that came to my mind was the obvious, just that little things add up to something bigger or can add up to something bigger. I know obviously like a lot of people think like, okay, quality over quantity, which true most of the time, but sometimes the quantity does make quality, or like sometimes a lot of little things do create something together. Um, and so the little things do still matter, and it's not always about the biggest, most grand things, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's like I don't know. I think it's so funny just because like there are so many different interpretations of it. Like Little Things by One Direction, like that song is very different from The Little Things by Kelsey Ballerini. Just in that like One Direction, like they're talking about, okay, it's like the little things about you that make you who you are, right? Like those are like the little things, like your small joys, your um the just sweet nothings about you, right? And then Kelsey Ballerini's little things, like that one's talking about like, oh, it's the little things that you do that I feel so loved by. Like those little things, like those two, three, four, eight actions, what like those little things that the small actions that people wouldn't notice, I notice them and I know that you're so intentional in doing that. And I feel so loved by it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so good. And it's literally like I know I just like looked up like the little things or little things, whatever, like songs, and there's like a couple others that I didn't even know about. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go listen.
Wait, that's funny. That's a really good point. Yeah, like it can be so many things. It can be, wow, all these tiny things about you that you probably think I don't notice about you or other people wouldn't notice, but I know them or why I like you and what I love about you. Or it's the, wow, I see all the little things you do for me and the small ways you show up for me. Or like, even if we say doing this is the bare minimum, or like I've been talking about this with my friend a lot, like, wow, like look at us celebrating the bare minimum that someone's doing. But it's like, okay, but sometimes like I don't think we always have to brush off the good small little things someone is doing for you that should be expected and standard in certain relationships. Yes, some of it could be like, wow, that's the bare minimum, but it's like, oh, but like they are constantly doing this and like it is intentional and it is something to be like that we can be happy about and really acknowledge and still like be grateful for. And I think even if something is like bare minimum or just general decency, like we can still thank someone for doing it, and appreciate them for it, um, to like keep, show like it is seen that you're doing these things so that, one, they don't stop doing them because they think you're not noticing it. But it's like it's just like a circular thing. Like I think the effort and the love and appreciation in your relationships is very like it's like push and pull, give and take. Like it is a circle. It's like a feedback loop. Like it's yeah, it's just like a healthy circle.
Yeah. One thing that like I think about so much is just like this is so silly, but like the sidewalk rule, where like the man, he's supposed to walk on the outside of the sidewalk so that, you know, this woman can be safe. If a car comes, he gets hit first. No.
Right.
But like when we went to Mexico in 22, yeah, like my cousin, like her boyfriend at the time, he like we were walking downtown and stuff, and he always like when we crossed the street, he was always on the outside. Like he's always like moving her around, or like if we were passing by someone, he would like move her to the outside of the sidewalk real quick so then he could like walk by this stranger or something, and then like move her back. And I truly, it did not seem like she noticed at all, but I was watching this whole thing, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the cutest thing ever. And it was just so cute. Like it was second nature to him. And it was just something that like I feel like he really just wasn't even thinking about, like he was just doing it, right? And then I was driving on kind of a busy street the other day, and like this dad and his kid was like on a bike or something. I don't know, like a small one, like 3, 4 years old, probably. He was not doing the sidewalk rule. I was like, brother, your child is like 2 feet tall. Why
Yeah.
why are you letting him be on the outside? But yeah, no, I just thought it was so funny. And like that's like the first thing that I kind of thought of, just like these little things that we can do, or like these little things that like people do notice, right? And like it doesn't, and honestly, sidewalk rule, like it is really silly, but at the same time, like it's thoughtful, right? Like it's not necessarily like a end all be all situation, but it's also like, oh, you care about me, that like you're gonna do this for me, or like you're gonna take the car for me, like just something like that. And like it's really not that serious, and it's not like something that's like, oh, well, he didn't do this, so, or my friend didn't do this for me, so bye forever, right? Like when it does happen, it's like, oh, that's so thoughtful, that's so kind.
Right. Yeah, I think it's like at the end of the day, um, everybody wants to like have little things done for them or to them. That sounds so weird, but like everyone likes like most people like being on the receiving end of little things to like, make you feel loved and all these things. But at the same time, everybody wants to feel seen and appreciated for the little things they're doing for others, right? It's like you everybody wants to feel appreciated and loved. That's like at the end of the day.
Yeah, so true. And like again, exactly like what we were saying last week, like little things do add up to something bigger, right? And so like at the end of the day, like yeah, the little things do matter. And sometimes it's not about like the biggest, most grand gestures, right? Like we love seeing those in the movies. We love seeing the grand gesture. But sometimes like I just love thinking about like the montage of things that happens that led up to a sweet moment versus,
Right,
oh, there was nothing and then this just came out of the blue. It's like, oh, um,
right,
cool. I did not know that. Versus like little things adding up to a lot, right? It's like, oh, no, I know you felt that way, or like I know um how you see me, or I know like my importance to you, or whatever, like because you show me, or because you tell me, or because you whatever, right? And then for us, kind of expressing that and like doing that for others, like just holding a door open, right? Like that's not hard, or letting someone in line like get into line before you for coffee, and sometimes they'll buy you a coffee. That happened to me and my mom one time. We got to the Starbucks at the same time as this other couple, and I'd held the door open for them because I just if I get somewhere, I'm just gonna hold the door open for someone to go ahead me. Like it doesn't, it's
Mhm.
not that deep for me. And they were so kind and they bought our coffees and I got like a big coffee that day. I was like, I wanted to cry.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, it's just kind of like, well, what good is a grand gesture worth if the effort's not there every other day, or like the intention and the love and like respect isn't there every other day? It's like kind of makes me think of like love bombing. Like, it's like that does no good. Like, honestly, like it pushes people away more if it's like, well, I can't get like the effort in this relationship every other day of the year, but this one time you're gonna do this big thing for me when like I don't care if you do a big thing for me. I just want you to show up for me in our everyday life, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. And like I think um it's just a it's just a balance, right? And like figuring out like, okay, how how do I show like the people in my life, how do I like show the relationships in my life that I value them, right? And so like that goes back to knowing their love languages or knowing their Enneagram types or knowing their whatever personality types, right? And it's like, okay, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can just be a pat on the back if it's physical touch, or it can be a sticky note being like, hey, love you, or hey, I care about you, or hey, I believe in you. Like, or, just something else for each of the love languages. I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Like, um, and even it's like totally fine to like make it a conversation too. Like talk to people and ask them like what kind of things they'd like, or because I mean maybe you don't know like what somebody's love language is or something, and I think it never hurts to ask. Like you can just be like, oh, what does that look like to you? Because even in like the same love language, maybe they still don't really react the same as everybody else in their same one or something. um and yeah, just figuring out like how really somebody would like to be shown they're appreciated or that kind of stuff. Just to help you out because maybe just don't believe everything on the internet either. It's like, oh, I did this thing because it said people who have this love language like it, and then they're like, oh, well, I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there.
For sure. Um, I kind of I like that you said it's like kind of like a balance thing too. And showing people that you value them, but then it's also important to value yourself. And so we kind of talked a couple weeks ago about setting boundaries and all that good stuff that's really hard. Um, but I think setting boundaries is both a way to value yourself and the people around you and people you have various relationships with. Because like um it shows that it's like I do care and value this relationship to the point where I don't want to like compromise something I'm not like comfortable with or something like that. It's like and it's also telling someone more of what you value and how they can show that they like respect and value you too if they, respect your boundaries and you're able to kind of draw them and all that stuff. I mean, to me, I think about my issue with boundaries is not necessarily like a lot of like personal um things, and it's more like just saying no to things. Like I like to say yes to everything. I like to load my plate up. I like to be busy. I like to do a lot of things. And so, anytime somebody asks to like hang out or do something, it's usually like yes, 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 yes. And I like just do so many things to make it work. But sometimes that can be a disservice to yourself.
Yeah. I think like because I'm definitely really bad at setting boundaries, but I've had a lot of opportunities for practice recently. And like I don't know, it's for me, I've noticed a lot of things in other people that like I'm like, oh, I don't want to be around them or I don't want to work with them or like whatever, just because of like these small things. But then I like think that I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, I do that too. And I'm like, shoot, if I'm thinking that about others, then the other people are surely thinking that about me. And so like recognizing that in myself recently, like, oh my gosh, rough. Like this is so embarrassing. Now I have to be better. But like even trying to be better, like actually really does like feel so good. And then so like noticing like the small digs that people make or the shortcuts they take to like kind of undermine the work I do or like try to figure out a way to like be better and not in like a healthy competition way. So like where we're pushing each other to be better, but in a way that's like, no, I'm better than you. So I'm just gonna be better. Like I'm gonna make your work like not great. Or I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like a lot of times like it all culminates a lot, like the little things into being a lot. And so it's just like, oh my gosh. And so I feel like that's like the very negative side of when a little becomes a lot. And it's like, shoot, now I'm like deep in this hole and I don't know how to get out because I didn't realize all these things like stacking up until
Mm,
I got to be here.
yes. No, exactly. Like I think in that same thing with like if it's like a time thing too, like yeah, if you say yes to all these things and you're really busy, eventually it is going to be too much and like, oh, you can't make it to certain responsibilities for one thing because you have them for another and then another. And it's like this trade-off back and forth. And so it's kind of like it's almost like you're patching holes, like is how I think of it. Or in work, we talk a lot about like like a water bucket with holes in it and like, you know, filling more water in, but water still spilling out. Like that is so real of like just like a negative way of how a little becomes a lot. And you don't necessarily want to be constantly watching over and hovering and trying to fix the holes here and there all the time so that you can keep doing so much, but also like just try to stop things from getting from falling apart. Um, and yeah, sorry, that was kind of a tangent. But the other thing I was thinking of, like, yeah, like negative, like small things, or like you mentioned, like the small digs people make, and just kind of like things like that, how they add up and kind of make you feel a way. Um, I feel like it can also be on the effort side of like if you feel like you're always doing a lot of small things, even if it's I think what's hard is like, well, no one asked you to do all the small things, it's like you're just doing it out of the goodness of your heart sometimes. But I feel like a lot of people start to build resentment if like things aren't reciprocated, because then they feel like, well, I put so much more effort into this than this person does. And so then every time you are putting like doing those small things and like putting the effort in, you're like doing it with this like negative attitude of like, well, they never do this or whatever, and I'm doing this and they don't do that. And it's funny, I've seen it a lot on TikTok, like, women will be like, oh, my husband or boyfriend doesn't notice how much I do around the house. Like, I do all this all the time. And like, they would never know unless I stopped doing it or whatever. And then they're like, or I brought it up and I tried to make it a conversation, but then they come back with well, I do this. Like, I do this one thing. And it's like, okay, well, yes. I'm not saying you don't do that or you don't do anything. I'm just saying I do a lot. And like I think it's uneven and I do too much. Or like it is fine that I do all this, but I would like to be acknowledged for it. Like it's just like finding that trade-off in finding the balance um to not stay in such like a negative place with it.
Yeah. I think like in that too, we need to know kind of like just about ourselves. Like we need to know what capacity we're able to carry, right? Like some of us are higher capacity than others, and we're able to juggle like lots of things at once. And that's kind of like what drives us, I feel like. Like for me at least, I feel like I'm a very high capacity person. Like I can have a lot of things going on at once and I can just bounce from project to project versus like others of us are lower capacity than others. So keeping activities and things going on at a minimum is ideal rather than a million different projects because like it can just be so overwhelming having so many things going on at once. And so like even having more than one or two things like coming up on the calendar can be overwhelming. So like we just need to know this about ourselves so that we know like just when we're about to be overloaded with stuff, yikes. And then like so when we are being overloaded with stuff or when we feel like we're about to crash out or we're about to um like we just need to hit the brakes, right? And so that's also learning when to say no to things. No to whether it's an opportunity, no to a situation, no to a person. Like it's so important because if we just continually say yes, which I'm so bad at because I only say yes, I cannot say no. And it's something I'm trying to work on, but it's so hard. But like when we continually say yes, then it's like, shoot, I am feeling so burnt out and this just sucks. And then you can't give like your all to it because I mean, like for me at least, like I can't really give my all to things because I'm just so focused on how stressed I am. And I don't want to be that person because when I do things, like I want to be able to give 100% because I get so embarrassed if things aren't done well and my name's attached to it.
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's so real. And I think the other good thing about like, yeah, that second point you made of like knowing when you're going to be overloaded and just like either whether that's being forward thinking and like looking ahead at your schedule or just like maybe you didn't look and you feel things starting to be more busy and more pressure and more stress and feel more overloaded. Like it's so helpful to have that awareness of that so that you can one do some more to prep for it or ask for help because you don't have to be like, doing it all on yourself. And sometimes there are ways you can step back and say, hey, could you help me do this thing or this thing so that, you aren't as like stressed figuring everything out. Um, but I do like how you mentioned that like we all have different capacities because I think where a lot of people struggle with this too is we usually expect from others what we expect from ourselves. And like people like us who are very high capacity, stretch ourselves out, are very busy, put a lot on our plate, say yes to a lot of opportunities. I think sometimes it's really easy for people who are high capacity to look at people who are have a lower capacity and judge them and say like, oh, they're lazy or they just lack the drive that like I have or um like anything kind of like that. It's very easy to judge, I think, when you're in that place of being able to take on a lot because you just see people not taking on a lot and you're like, wow, why aren't they doing that? Or
Mhm.
um things like that. So it's it's better to, think and remember that everybody is different in every kind of way and not expecting the same thing from everyone that you expect from yourself. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I think also with that though, like I that's such a good point that like we often expect from others like what we'd expect from ourselves. And so like being a high capacity person, it's really hard for me to say no to things. But I feel like for lower capacity, like low capacity people, it's probably really hard for them to say yes to things, right? Because they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is too much. Like I can't do that."
Hmm.
And so I guess like it's like yeah, when we're about to be overloaded with stuff and like knowing when to say no, but it's like, okay, well, maybe I can do this other thing. So let me try saying yes.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's good. I think about how I have some friends who have done like, well, they're like, it's my like year of yes, or like I'm gonna be like saying yes, and I'm like, I need to say no. Like, it's like it's so funny when you realize like, oh, not everybody like has a hard time saying no. Like it's funny to realize, but yeah, no, it's hard. Honestly, that's like the takeaway from everything is it's hard.
Yeah, but obviously with practice, we'll get somewhere. Just implementing, incorporating a couple little things into our days to help someone else out, to help make life easier, help make life more enjoyable. It's so sweet because when that happens to us, we know how sweet it is. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, it's good to be part of a team, or like feeling like you're a team, like in all the different things you do or in all of your relationships, um, and not feeling like you're it's all your responsibility to do something or um, anything like that. So good communication and um, yeah, good communication. That's the thing. And just showing up, good communication, showing up for each other and making your wants and needs and expectations known, um, but also being understanding and
Yeah.
flexible.
Yeah. Oh, I could not have said it better. And I think that's a perfect note to end this episode on and this
Yes,
on.
I
So
agree.
good. Yeah, I feel like this is very fitting for me right now. Oh my gosh, why is every single episode so fitting for my life?
Honestly, I feel like that shows that it's like, okay, wait, we're doing it right because we're actually thinking about things that we obviously care about or need to hear or need to ruminate on, and just think more about and work on and apply. Um, yeah. Wow, we really packed a punch, packed it all up into a quick little listen.
Yes, so good. Okay. Now we're gonna end this as we always do. We're gonna what's the word? Sign off, sign out. I don't even never mind. I'm trying to be cool. I'm not cool. With our song of the week. So Sam, what is your song of the week?
My song of the week is Ricochet by Aiden Bissett. It is a newer release, came out last week, after he's been teasing it for a long time. So I've just been waiting for the song, and I haven't gotten to listen to it too much, but I did, before I flew last weekend, saved some of like the new releases from last Friday. And so I got to like listen on the plane and stuff like that. So it's so good. It's like it reminded me of um for some reason that song of his reminds me a lot of Daniel CV. But they're obviously very similar in similar music spaces. Um so yeah, if you like Mr. Daniel, you'll like Aiden Bissett if you don't listen to him already.
Love
But
that.
also like who doesn't?
My song of the week is Drown Me by Dasha. I was just listening to like my day list today, and it was basically Dasha and other like female artists. And yeah, this one came on. I was like, wow, so good. So depressing. Obviously great.
That's
Um,
funny.
but yeah. Oh, this was such a good talk. I'm glad we were able to do this. Yay.
Me too. It was a good one. Um, everybody, if you're listening, share this episode. Share this episode with your friend who needs to hear it. No, that like
Real. Call them out. And they won't even know that you called them
literally.
out until right now.
Yeah, exactly. So,
JK, JK.
um,
So funny. Well, yeah, this was so good, so fun. I'm so glad you were able to come home for a week and like spend time with your family and do all that.
same. It felt really short though, but then like I think about it and I'm like, well, I guess it was like a whole week, but um it's still I'm like I don't know how it's already at the end and yeah, like I'm doing my laundry right now so that it's clean to take back and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to pack. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I always unpack everything. This is so silly. I don't know. I don't do this anywhere else except when I come home. I take everything out of my like suitcase and put it in like little drawers or hang stuff up. Um, Especially since it's a full week. But now I'm like, wow, that's coming back to bite me because nothing's packed.
Mhm. I mean, it makes sense because like you're at home.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. I hope you have a really great rest of your day, Sam.
Oh, thanks, Issa, and likewise to you all.
Bye.
Bye.